From SF Land, this is Dorking Out, a podcast for people who love to dork out about movies, TV, and everything pop culture.
Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and Margo, you old so-and-so, how about those dolphins?
This is how you schmear toast.
That's men schmear. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out. It's Margo D. Hello, friend.
Hello, my friend.
We are dorking out about 1996's The Birdcage. This is one of Margo's comfort movies, and we all could use a little comfort right now. And it's streaming right now on Amazon Prime. Yay!
Yes, it is.
I love it when I don't have to pay, although we already pay for Prime. But you know what I mean. This movie's written by Elaine May, national treasure, Elaine May, based on a play, and then it's based on a movie. Can you pronounce it for me? Because you know I won't pronounce it right.
La Cage aux Folles.
Yay, thank you. You're so smart. And directed by Mike Nichols. And it's got this amazing, amazing cast. It's Robin Williams, R.I.P., Gene Hackman, Nathan Lane, Diane Wiest, Callista Flockhart, Hank Azaria is funny as shit in this movie. Christine Baranski, also a national treasure in my opinion. Everything's better with Christine Baranski. And then we're going to talk about Dan Futterman. It's not his fault. It's actually not his fault, but he's in this too.
Okay, we're not blaming you, Mr. Futterman, if you're listening.
Yes.
He is a great writer, and he's written some amazing movies in the last few years. This is not his fault. He's doing what the part is telling him to do.
Yes. In case you guys haven't seen The Birdcage, you should see The Birdcage and then listen to this episode. Are you still there, Margo?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a little beep or something. It went away. That's fine. Okay. So, The Birdcage is Robin Williams and Nathan Lane are a gay couple. Robin Williams owns a nightclub in South Beach, Florida. Nathan Lane's his longtime lover and star. This is before gay marriage and everything, so they're not quote unquote married, but they're together, and they have raised a son together, and that's Val, played by Dan Futterman. And he's 20 years old and is getting married because that's what 20-year-olds are itching to do. They're dying to marry 18-year-olds. And the woman is played by Callista Flockhart. This is pre-Ally McBeal. And he wants them to pretend to be straight because her parents are Gene Hackman and Diane Wiest. And Gene Hackman is a super conservative, senator, head of the, the moral, it's a family values
Right,
senator.
the moral authority or something like that.
Yeah, so he wants them to pretend to be straight. And hilarity ensues. This is one of your comfort movies, Margo. How many times have you watched it?
I've seen this dozens of times, and I'll never forget. I went to see it at a screening and with my roommate at the time, and we went with two other friends, and the two of us were laughing so hard, we were both saying our sides literally hurt. It was so great. And then our two friends, one of them being my friend Erin, by the way, from Best Neighbors. They're like, I thought it was just okay. And I was like, for shame, how dare you? But it always makes me laugh. It hasn't aged completely well. This is a long time ago. It's almost 25 years ago. So we have to give it something of a break.
More than 20. Yeah, more than 25 years, right? Or almost 25. You're right. Sorry, math is hard.
But it's so Val comes home. There's some very interesting choices. First of all, when Val comes home and talks to Robin Williams, we're not quite sure what their relationship is, but it almost they're going to lean in for a kiss. We're not really meant to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
It's such a weird choice.
It's such a weird thing. I think we are supposed to think that Val is his young lover. And then the big reveal is that it's his son. But then leading up to that, you're like, ew.
Yeah. It's just very uncomfortable.
It is very uncomfortable. It's kind of when you first see the movie, you don't know, but then now that you know it's his son, you're like, this behavior is kind of inappropriate.
It does. Yeah, that part always kind of gives me the willy. I usually leave the room when that part's happening, and then I get a beverage, and then I come back, and then I just stay in for the rest of the movie. But he wants to marry a girl, 18 years old. Now, in real life, Callista Flockhart was 30, but she looks 20.
Yeah, she looks really young.
He doesn't look 20.
No.
He was 27.
Yeah.
So it's because already like right off the bat, like, well, you're too young. And he then so Gene Hackman, he's the president of the Moral Authority, and he ran it with another senator. And that senator was caught in bed with an underage black prostitute.
Yes.
And she either died or did she not die? But
she doesn't die. He died.
He dies with her, right?
Yeah.
But it's all the things. So then, and it's almost adorable how that would be a big scandal.
Like it wouldn't even be a scandal now. It's like, yeah. Well, it's always the people that yell the loudest are like the most corrupt.
Yes.
The most like super gay or super anti-gay senators are always the ones that like are tapping their feet in bathroom stalls and airports and trying to get blowjobs.
Exactly. Going to the road stops and stuff like that. Yeah. So what happens is Callista Flockhart says to them, hey, I want to marry this guy. And they tell this elaborate lie. First of all, they lie about their relationship being homosexual men.
Yeah.
But he lies about his last name.
Yeah.
Goldman to Coleman. So he denies him being Jewish. Like, Val, you can't get married if you're going to lie to literally everybody in your life.
That stuff, I wrote this all in my notes. I was like, it's the premise behind the movie, the idea that they are telling so many lies that are obviously going to come out. Like they're going to like you can't maintain those kind of lies for a lifetime.
Right.
Like the premise behind it is kind of bullshit. Like, and
it's total. Yeah.
Yeah. And Val is such a prick about it. That
yes,
you don't want it to succeed,
right?
And they lie about being gay, they lie about being Jewish, like it's just all of this stuff. And then they also get Christine Baranski, who was Val's mother, who hasn't seen him in 20 years. She just like had an affair with Robin Williams. And by the way, you could totally see why a gay man might want to hit that. Like,
oh, she is so smoking hot.
She's
beautiful, gorgeous, like long stems and perfect figure. And they were in the chorus together. They were in the theater together, and he decided to give it a shot. She snuck into his room. You're getting the idea. She gave birth to this baby and just handed it over to him. And then he and Armand and Albert raised him together. And he's never, I think his issues is he didn't have the mother rejected him or something. And that's maybe something that makes him angry, but maybe that's between him and his therapist. But so what happens is so Callista Flockhart wants to marry him. So she's going to bring her two conservative parents to South Beach. And they figure, oh, if we have a wedding, that'll distract everybody from this scandal. I'm like, no, it's not.
It won't.
It won't. It wouldn't. And it wouldn't at all work. But that's what they're doing. And so you stick with it because Armand and Albert are just so funny and warm. And Nathan Lane is the funniest goddamn thing ever. I mean, I'm laughing every time he squeals.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I was howling. He's so wonderful in this movie. And he wasn't out of the closet yet, technically.
I don't know who he was fooling, but yeah. I wrote this in my notes too, which you just said out loud because we're the same person. Nathan Lane is the funniest thing ever in this movie. He is so funny. I didn't know jack shit about Nathan Lane before this movie. I knew he was the voice in The Lion King. That's all I knew about Nathan Lane. He was very new to me in this movie, and I remember seeing it in the theater and thinking, like, how hard is it to steal a movie from Robin Williams? Like, really hard. And he's so fucking funny in this. Like, and he breaks your heart too.
Yes.
Like, I really, really care about Albert, and I hate how shitty they treat him in the movie. and how much he wants to like help and do the right thing, and he wants to be a part of it. He wants to meet the woman his son is going to marry.
Right.
And how cavalier they are about like, well, we're just going to have to get rid of Albert for a few days.
He already feels this way because he's in his 40s, and they have this club, the La Cage aux Folles, the Birdcage they call it.
Yeah.
And it's a drag queen show. How many times do they play We Are Family? But I don't get tired of it.
I love that song.
You'll hum it for days. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he's the lead attraction. But he realizes, look, there are younger, prettier ones coming up every day. Mm-hmm. And he's very insecure. He's a performer. They get very insecure. Yes. So he's already feeling that kind of pressure. And then Val is getting married, and he's excited because he raised this kid.
Yes.
And they immediately are like, okay, we're going to have to pretend we're straight. So you're going to have to go away for a couple of days. And they are just trying to. And then the scene where Robin Williams he says, why can't I be the uncle? I'll be the straight uncle. Why can't it just be a gay uncle? I mean, are they really going to run screaming from the house because there's one gay person? It's South Beach, you idiots. Like, but okay, that's not the movie. So when Albert is trying to learn how to be straight, and Robin Williams is teaching him, like the thing with the toast, like smearing oh my God.
It's so funny.
So funny. So funny.
All the stuff with like men smear, and then he's like, I pierced the toast, like, you know. But the scene where he tries to get him to talk about football, I paused the movie because I was laughing so hard, where he's just like, you know, you old so and so, and then the way he says like, how about those Dolphins or whatever. And then
every time,
and then Robin Williams, then they flip it. So then Robin Williams like, how do you feel about that game last night? And he's like, bemused, bewildered. And he's like, not the right response. Like, just the way he is. It's so funny. And like the whole thing with like trying to walk like John Wayne. And it's just, it is so funny.
It's so believable.
It is.
You really believe that they're trying to teach each other this. And then when Nathan Lane just in a regular suit being duded up, and trying to sit in a chair and not like cross his legs and trying to be butch.
Yes,
I remember in the movie, it makes me howl with laughter. It's so wonderful. Val is ordering them. They have to get rid of all their gay stuff in the house.
Yeah, which means they have to redo their house.
Yeah, to redo their house. And he barks orders at everybody. Yeah. Like, he's so nasty about it. Like, for some reason, the girl's not pregnant. I mean, why does he have to marry her? He has to marry her. But then we forgot to mention Spartacus Agador, Hank Azaria, who's queening it up. But, oh, my God, is he funny.
He's so
funny.
He's so funny in this movie. And
I'm not sure I understand.
Sorry, that's my watch.
Your watch is all, I don't understand that Hank Azaria is so funny in this movie.
My Apple Watch will not give me enough steps when I'm walking, and it'll just shout out stupid crap to me.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
It's
anyway.
Okay. No worries. He's like got a really nice body.
He's wearing a thong in one scene, and that ass is tight.
It's such a weird thing to say about Hank Azaria. Like, the guy who does like the voice for The Simpsons is what he's probably mainly known for, but he's got a really good body. He's quite beautiful in this movie, actually. But I think he's really, really funny. And I love the whole thing with like, I do not wear shoes. They make me fall down. Like the idea that like that he can't even wear a pair of shoes because they'll make him fall. And he's trying to wear shoes and he's like just falling all over the place. And his accent is like Guatemalan. It's really, really funny. He's just so funny in this movie.
There's so many funny people in this movie. I mean, Gene Hackman is hilarious because he plays like a total dipshit who's trying to make conversation and can't. And so they get Christine Baranski. So she says, I'll do this favor for you. I'll come to the house. I'll pretend I'm your wife. I'll pretend I'm his mother. I mean, all this lying. I mean, everybody's just going along for Val. Fucking Val.
I know. He's such an ungrateful
not
prick.
Worth it. No, he's not. It's not worth it. He's not worth it. Anyway, so she's late, of course. Yeah. So Nathan Lane dresses up as a woman, and he looks like Nathan Lane dressed up as a middle-aged older lady.
He's got like a Barbara Bush kind of
you go.
Look about him, but
very matronly.
Yes, but he's actually he's so sweet. And,
Yes.
and he is a good host. Like he really is trying to make them feel as comfortable as he can. And I think that's what somebody would do. Like, look, I have relatives like my parents who are super, super conservative and say stupid shit. And when they're in my house, like I try really hard to make them comfortable, even
Yes.
if I don't agree. And I feel like that's what he's doing. Like he's really trying to help. And I don't know. And of course Val doesn't appreciate it, and that makes me hate him even more.
They both kind of like give him the stink eye when he's just being funny when they're talking about abortion.
Yeah.
And he says, just kill the mothers. They'll have to just go down with the ship.
Yeah, it has to go down with the ship.
I mean, there's so many. Elaine May and Mike Nichols, they were a comedy team in the 60s. And that's like, when you give me a comedy, just give me jokes.
Yes.
Don't riff. Just give me jokes.
We've talked about this before. Like a lot of comedies now don't have jokes. This movie has jokes.
Right.
But there's also really sweet stuff in here too. And there's like there's a lot of scenes where you could tell Robin Williams is really hurt that all of this is happening. He doesn't want to do it, but he thinks he's helping his son, but he also doesn't want to hurt Albert. And he's constantly chasing after Albert to kind of smooth things over. And there's a really sweet scene where they're sitting together and he gives him these palimony papers where basically they're combining they're like, you own half the club now and I own half of your stuff, like to legally protect each other. There was no like domestic partnership or gay marriage or anything. And the idea that if something should happen to one of them, they have no legal right to each other's lives. And he hands them these papers and explains like, I only have a home because of you. Like my home is wherever you are. And it's really, really sweet. And, and they sign the papers and it's like, there's the idea of my stuff and your stuff. And now it's all ours is really sweet. And, a little ahead of its time. I would have liked maybe if they kissed, but we're not going to get that. That's okay.
No, it's the mid 90s. I mean, and I like the scene. When Nathan Lane is rehearsing and there's that really dumb dancer who's chewing gum. He goes, chewing gum makes me think, and then he can't get the steps. And so Nathan Lane says, try more gum.
I almost made that my opening line, because it made me laugh so hard. Try more gum.
And then Robin Williams says his Robin Williams shtick, Martha Graham, Madonna, but you keep it all inside. Yeah. just so much great stuff in this movie. And there's a news crew following them around, the senator around outside the house. And so while they're having this very uncomfortable dinner, Spartacus making that terrible soup with like the egg.
It's got an egg in it.
Just an egg in its shell, just in the soup. And then they're trying to sneak out. And the only way they can do it is they have to go through the club. And at the end of the night at the club, at the end of the show, they walk out to We Are Family, and you set up the joke. It turns around, and then it's Gene Hackman looking like B. Arthur.
Oh my God, he totally looks like B. Arthur.
It's passable.
Yeah. He's a very ugly woman, though. He is a very ugly woman.
He's not the most attractive woman. And he even says, like, I'm not as pretty as the other ones. No one will dance with me. It's like... And Diane Wiest looks great.
Oh my God. Diane Wiest is always awesome.
Yes.
Always
brings it.
Yeah.
She's super funny. But like Gene Hackman totally buys Albert as a woman. And then the jig is up, and then he just says, look, we're just like anybody else. We care about the same things. It's a really nice scene.
Yeah.
But they sneak out. And of course I'm like, thank God they talked these kids out of getting married. No. The next scene, but it's great because there's the senator's side, and then there's the Birdcage side. And the one woman says, Bob Dole is gorgeous. It always makes me laugh too.
It's so funny. Do you think that at the end of the movie, Gene Hackman's character has learned anything about his positions? Or because that's the part where I was kind of confused. It's like a lot of it is we're supposed to think the press are kind of villains. And I was like, I actually don't think they're villains. I think he's kind of a bigoted senator, and
Yeah,
they're
and a
gonna
hypocrite.
and they're gonna call him out on his shit. And I'm like, I think that's legit, but maybe that's the former reporter in me. And
Yeah.
I worry, like, do you think they sneak him out past the press just so he could go out and continue to push his like shitty, hurtful legislation? I'm gonna say, go ahead.
You go.
No, you go. You.
Okay. Me. Okay. I say, I, he, yes, I think they spend like the holidays together and stuff like that. He gradually warms, but I don't think he has it in him to completely change.
Yeah. He's kind of
I think he's too dumb. He's too dumb and he's too old.
Probably. I think you're right. And that's because, and then that's why the end for me is a little like, they helped him and I'm not sure he's going to help them.
Right.
So I'm like, that stuff bums me out a little bit, but I could try to rewrite a happier ending in my head.
I mean, to me, it would be, there should have been a scene where actually like those two kids should say, we're not ready to do this. It's a big step. We should put let's take more time, give our families time to get to know each other. I don't think, but then we wouldn't have had that great line, Bob Dole is gorgeous. I mean,
I know, right? It's the sacrifice we have to make.
Yeah.
Do you think Val and Barbara are still together?
Oh, hell no.
No. Not at all.
Barbara gets tired of his shit very soon.
Oh, yeah. She has an affair.
She does. Well, he's impossible to please, and he's very self-centered and, ungrateful. I mean, I'm sure, okay, maybe it's hard to grow up in a home with two gay men as your parents, but you're in South Beach. It's not like you're in Tulsa or something. I mean, you have a nice life. By the way, the backgrounds of these people, all the background actors are gorgeous and thin in little tiny outfits. Like everybody's just beautiful.
Yes.
I totally want to go there.
I'm like, I would go to that club.
I totally would.
I'm not a club person, but I would go to that club. I think Barbara has an affair, and I think Albert takes her side, and that her and Albert are still friends.
Oh, they all prefer her.
Yeah, that's the story I've made up in my head.
I'd like to think that Val one day would realize the folly of what he was doing and really how hurtful it was.
Yeah. Maybe I need to remember that he's 20, and when you're 20, you make. I love that I talk about these people like they're real people.
Right,
He's 20, and you do shitty things when you're 20.
You're selfish.
You're selfish. Exactly. Good call.
You're an adult technically, but you're not really an adult.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. It was such a fun rewatch, though. Like I said, Nathan Lane, he killed me. Just killed me. Like, so funny and then so heartbreaking when he needed to be. And I immediately looked up Oscar nominations because I was like, who was nominated? And because Nathan Lane wasn't. And then I looked it up, and the category is actually pretty tight because that's the year Cuba Gooding Jr. won for Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, he was good in Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. I get it. And then, William H. Macy for Fargo. I was like, he's amazing in that movie. Edward Norton for Primal Fear. Edward Norton's amazing in that movie.
He's really good in that movie.
Armin Mueller-Stahl for Shine. He's really good in that movie. And then the one where I was like, this didn't need to be here. James Woods for Ghosts of Mississippi. I'm like,
I think you feel that way about James Woods anyway.
Yeah, but I was like, you cut that. You could put Nathan Lane in there.
Was he nominated for a Golden Globe?
I think so. Let's look. I'm going to look up in my little notes here because there's no way he must have been Golden. I mean, they're comedies, right?
Yeah, there's a comedy category.
Oh yeah, he was nominated for Best Actor in a Motion Picture for Birdcage.
Comedy.
Yeah, but he didn't win. I'm like, who could have possibly beaten him? Now I have to look that up.
It could have been so over the top, and he is, he's flipping his pinky finger and shit. Yeah. But there's, like you said, there's so much heart to him. Like, you just love him.
Yeah. I'm going to look it up, but I bet it was Tom Cruise for Jerry Maguire. But let's look it up. Let's see.
Was he funny in Jerry Maguire?
Oh, I don't think so, but other people will
think
so. the Golden Globes are ridiculous. Oh, it was. See, it was Jerry Maguire. There you go. Also nominated in that category, Eddie Murphy for The Nutty Professor.
I love The Nutty Professor.
He's really good in that movie.
He is excellent in that movie. Yes, I agree.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, don't you think Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire's hilarious? So funny.
I think it's just the one scene, I am your motherfucker.
Yeah.
But that's more Cuba Gooding Jr. than him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great movie star. He is a great movie star. And that was a very popular movie at the time.
Yes, it was. It is on our list to revisit because I know you have thoughts and feelings about it. And I'm pretty sure I do too. I haven't revisited since the theater, but I have a feeling that Sonia now may not enjoy it as much as I did at the time.
Some of those Cameron Crowe movies are tough.
Yeah.
To revisit, yeah.
I think so too. We could also do Primal Fear sometime.
I love Primal Fear.
I love Primal Fear too.
Yeah.
I developed a massive crush on Edward Norton after I saw that movie.
I met him once.
Was he nice to you? Please.
He was, oh my God, he was so nice.
Oh, thank God.
So handsome. My friend worked for Domino magazine. Remember Domino?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was a party and he was like one of the big celebrity guests. And my friend went over and very shyly and says, hi, can I please take your picture? And he goes, well, only if you'll pose with me. And he was so nice about it. It was like before selfies were a thing.
Yeah.
But he was so gracious. I was too nervous to ask, but she was very awkward and he was so nice to her. And he's so handsome.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm so relieved.
I know. I don't have to work with him. I don't know who he's like to work with, but I know like in that situation, he was really sweet.
Yeah. Have you heard the story that Patrick Bromley told on his podcast one time about how he was in the running for that part?
That was on my episode.
That's amazing.
We talked to,
oh yeah, yeah.
My best friend's wedding. Yeah, he was up for that role. I didn't know he was an actor.
That's like my mind. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's insane to me. I'm sure Patrick would have been amazing in that role too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm also glad it was Edward Norton because he was really great in that too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a great reveal.
Anyway, we are talking about the Birdcage, not Primal Fear or Edward Norton. Sorry. Robin Williams, he lived here in San Francisco and like everyone seems to have Robin Williams stories and I don't, and it bums me out. I wish I had a Robin Williams story.
I don't have one either. I know people who have met him and they all said he was invariably very nice. Mm-hmm. He was very, he wasn't funny all the time. Like he could be kind of serious, but he was very smart. He could speak Russian and French. Yeah.
He was a genius. He was really, really, really smart. And he was beloved here. Like people, they all, like anyone, he would just shop here. Like he lived here, the restaurants, like everyone was like, he was always super, super nice. Like everyone loves him. We changed the name of a tunnel out here to the Robin Williams Tunnel and it's got the rainbow on it. And it's just, he is so loved. And
do you remember when he passed away? It was on Twitter, I think. And like everybody I know just completely was like devastated.
Yeah. There's only a few times where celebrities have passed away that makes me cry. Like, and Robin Williams was one of those ones that made me cry. We probably have talked. I feel like Robin Williams comes up a lot on the show.
Yeah.
And then every time I'm like, this one makes me cry. And he's actually really, really good in this movie. I like, for lack of a better term, he kind of plays the straight man.
Yeah.
And like, he really, but he's got like a lot of heart. You could see there's like hurt behind what he's doing. Like the scene where he tells Val, like, it took me 20 years to get where I am and I'm not going to change, you know, but then he ends up doing it anyway. But there's a lot there. And I do like that he kind of pulls it back a little bit from his Robin Williams thing to let Nathan Lane kind of have that role.
Yes.
And it shows gracious and he's just a good actor. He was such an amazing actor.
Yeah. Yeah, I still miss him. He was a big part of my childhood.
Me too.
And it was nice to see him be able to do, because not all comedians can kind of transition to drama.
Yeah.
But he did it very well.
Yeah.
But he's like but there's a couple of times he's super fun. I love it when he's dancing with Christine Baranski in her office.
Yeah.
So good.
They're so that scene is really good, and
Mm-hmm.
he's really good in that scene. You could see why she would like him. You
Mm-hmm.
could see why he would like her. Like I said earlier, like not only is she super gorgeous, but like she's funny. Like she could dance, she could sing. Like, come on.
She's sexy.
She's sexy as fuck.
I love it how she opens the bottle between her legs. She goes, "Yeah, I was never very maternal." Great line.
She's so great. Have you watched her show at all? It's on like CBS Access. It's like The Good Fight.
No, I never seen that. That was one of my mom's favorites.
Yeah, she was on The Good Wife, which I watched sometimes. I didn't watch all the time, but every time I watched it, I was like, she's the shit. Like, she's so great. And I feel like it might be one of those shows I really would like if I would watch it, but I haven't watched it yet.
I watched her on Sybil Shepherd's show.
Oh, yeah.
She was good on that.
She was funny as shit on that show.
She always is.
It was kind of like almost like an Absolutely Fabulous situation, right? Weren't they always drunk on the show and stuff like that? From what I remember.
They were best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love her, is what I'm trying to get at. Do you have anything else you want to say about the Birdcage other than Nathan Lane is everything?
Nathan Lane's everything. We Are Family is a great song. I'd love to visit that club. It's filmed beautifully. It makes Miami look great.
This is true.
There's so much color. You see so many perfect asses. Like everyone's in a thong.
It really makes me want to get on that treadmill.
Yeah. You talk about like inspiration. I mean, that's it. And just Nathan Lane, just walking with when Armand hurts his ankle and he's taking him and he's being like, "Oh no, we don't go to the hospital. I'll take care of you. I'll take care." They're so great together.
They are. They were so funny together. They were so sweet together. I love it. Thank you for recommending it. It was really fun rewatch.
Well, the thing is, it's like going through Amazon when you're like, okay, I need something to cheer me up. Yeah. And just Amazon Prime, I just had to go through, really scroll through it, and then it popped up, and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this in a while. And as soon as I started watching, like, I've got to talk about this with Sonia. Mm-hmm. It's got to happen.
Yeah. But you were right about Val. That was...
Yes.
But
he's infuriating.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't know if there's a better way that could have been done. It's, once again, no reflection on Dan Futterman. It's not his fault. Like,
no,
it's the way it's written. I don't know if it could have been retooled to make him not such a prick, but it's still really, really funny movie. I recommend.
And I totally, you guys, it's got great jokes. You will laugh out loud. It'll make you forget everything you're going through.
Yeah.
It's kind of a perfect little movie.
I have to say, I almost forgot to take notes. Like, I watch all of our movies and I take notes while I do it. And I was through this movie I'm maybe more than halfway through this movie before I realized I hadn't written shit down. Because I was so...
absorbed.
I was just enjoying it. And I love Nathan Lane so much that I was just watching it. And then I was like, oh shit, I better write some shit down.
Or every time he screamed out loud or squealed out loud, I was just dying.
No! No! It's so funny.
When the toast flies out of his hands. Oh, God!
Oh, I pierced the toast. It doesn't matter. I could just get more toast. That's right.
How about them dolphins? God, that's the funniest shit ever.
I'm going to start saying that all the time to people now. You old so-and-so. How about those dolphins? I love it. Do you want to hear some other 1996 movies?
Yes, I do.
Okay. That Thing You Do came out in 96. I love that movie.
Yeah, the songwriter of it recently passed away.
Oh, it's such a good song.
Yeah.
Such a good song. It's catchy as fuck. Mm-hmm. Once you hear it, it's going to be stuck in your head for weeks. Space Jam. Okay, younger people love Space Jam. Do you love Space Jam?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I saw it, and because I really love old Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
But I would like Bugs Bunny is like a hero to me. I love Bugs Bunny, but like the movie, I was like, it's fine, whatever. Young people fucking love Space Jam.
Okay.
It must have been on all the time when they were kids, and they have this nostalgic feeling for it.
It's like Hook.
Yeah, they also love Hook.
Yeah.
You're right. It also has that R. Kelly song in it. Fuck R. Kelly. This stupid fucking song.
His catchy fucking song.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Fuck him. Anyway, Independence Day.
Oh God, I stood in the outside on July 3rd, the year that came out, in the heat and humidity of New York for like 2 hours to see that movie.
That movie made so much money. It played at my theater.
It's very watchable. It's stupid, but very watchable.
I was in a meeting a couple weeks ago, and my boss actually played the scene where Bill Pullman's like, "Today is our independence." She was like, "Let's get pumped," and she played it, and I was cracking up. I was like, you could play Bill Pullman scenes every day in these meetings if you want, by the way. You don't have to just do Independence Day. We could do While You Were Sleeping next. I'm into it. Sling Blade.
I worked on that.
Did you?
I worked on the publicity for it, post-publicity in New York. I took Billy Bob Thornton around on interviews when he was first becoming famous.
Was he a kook then, too?
Total kook.
Yeah.
Very nice. Smart. Super, super smart, but very eccentric.
I could see that.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Great movie. And Dwight Yoakam, I got to meet him. Oh, my God.
Was he nice, too?
Super nice.
Okay, good. Phew.
John Ritter, too.
John Ritter.
Yeah, I know that one made me cry, too. So nice.
Love John Ritter.
Yeah.
Did you see Bound?
Oh, that's the lesbian one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really great. If you guys haven't seen that one with Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon, it's really, really great. I love
Very
Bound.
sexy.
Very sexy. The Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy.
I love Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy.
Cat on my head.
That is a great movie to put on if you want to forget things.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. If you're a Kids in the Hall fan, you got to see it.
It's so funny. Tin Cup with Kevin Costner.
That's Kevin Costner. We should talk about that with Adam.
Yeah. I think that's on our list somewhere. He's very charming in that movie. And Renee Russo is super beautiful.
Always.
2 more. Ransom.
Mel Gibson.
With Mel Gibson. Give me back my son. It was like that trailer was in front of every movie. And
that was a popular film too.
It was super popular. I think Ron Howard directed it, but I just remember the trailer. Give me back my son. And then the last one on my list is a movie called The Last Supper. Did you see this one with all the like liberal graduate students who live together? It's like Cameron Diaz, Courtney B. Vance, Annabella Gish.
No.
They all live together, and they start inviting like super conservative people over for dinner, and they argue with them and try to change their mind. And when they can't change their mind, they poison them and bury them in the backyard.
Oh, wow. That sounds weird.
It's super weird. And Ron Perlman plays kind of like a Rush Limbaugh type that is kind of on in the background all the time. And eventually like he comes over for dinner too. Oh, Mark Harmon's in it as like kind of like a serial date rapist that they invite over, and they end up poisoning him. Anyway, it's actually really good.
That sounds good. I mean, I don't know why I've never heard of it, or if I have, I just don't remember it.
Yeah, it was, played at like the independent theater in our town, and I don't know if it really caught on with people, but I saw it on the list and I was like, that was a very interesting movie, and I wondered if you had seen it, and you haven't, so you should check it out.
Okay.
And that's it. Oh, no, wait, one more. Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Oh, I love Beavis and Butthead.
That movie made me laugh really hard when I saw it in the theater.
Bruce Willis and Demi Moore are in that movie.
I know. It's so weird.
That makes me like them more. They're quarantined together.
What?
So Demi Moore has been posting that she's quarantined with her 3 daughters and their 2 of their boyfriends. And then there's a picture of Bruce Willis joining them, and they're all wearing matching pajamas, but Bruce Willis's wife isn't there. And I don't know if he's going back and forth between the homes or not, but that's not really quarantining.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Maybe
Check it out on
maybe they're
Instagram.
going to get back together.
Is that a good idea?
I don't know. Probably
Hmm.
not. Anyway, interesting. Thanks for the
Y-
scoop.
Yeah. I always know the stupid celebrity scoop.
I love it.
So do you want to hear about some top songs from
Yep.
96?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
Tony Braxton, You're Making Me High.
That song is dope.
Fucking dope. Fugees,
Mm-hmm.
Killing Me Softly, which is beautiful.
I love that song.
Tupac Shakur, California.
That song is still like on many playlists of mine.
That's my jam.
I love that song.
The Prodigy, Firestarter.
I really like that song too. I'm not I'm not an electronic music person, but I really like that song.
I liked that album. That was a good one.
Mhm.
Beck, Where It's At.
I had a massive crush on Beck back in the day.
He doesn't age, by the way.
I know, it's so weird. Do you think it's Scientology?
It's that he and Paul Rudd have the same like facialist or something. Because they're in their 50s at this point. And
I
they
know.
don't look it.
They look the same. It's weird.
And the last one is Spice Girls, Wannabe.
That song is awesome.
I love the Spice Girls.
I know. I have never seen all the way through their movie.
It's okay.
Is it just called Spice World?
Spice World.
Yeah.
Richard E. Grant's in there. It's okay.
Oh, it's got fans.
Yeah. There's fans for everything.
That's valid point. What else are you dorking out about?
So I was on Amazon Prime, scrolling. Give me something for free that I can watch now. And I found something that went right to the pleasure center of my brain. And it's incredibly stupid, and I fucking love it. And it's called Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2, The Heavy Metal Years.
Mm-hmm.
So Penelope Spheris, she directed Wayne's World.
Mm-hmm.
She was directing a lot of women start out as documentarians, and then they go into features. It's just, for some reason, it's easier for women to start in documentaries. But the first one she did was about the punk scene in LA, and it was like 81 or 82. And it's very hardcore.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge punk person. It's a bunch of white boys whining to me.
Yeah.
But this is about heavy metal years. I have such a fondness for California, late 80s, big hair.
Yeah, big hair metal.
Hair metal, girls teasing their hair out to there, boys teasing their hair out to there, and those little skinny bodies with leather jackets and really cheesy songs. I just have such the fondness for it. And Penelope is interviewing all these people, and she has some stars. She has Aerosmith, Megadeth, but there's a bunch of bands that will go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're only famous, and they're all convinced they're going to be huge rock stars, and they all make total assholes of themselves. And it's so much fun. I mean, it's just, and years later, it came out in 88, and I've just seen it over time. And there's like a weird subculture of people, because there's fans for everything.
Yes.
But those of us that like this documentary, like we always go like Odin, because there's a band called Odin that was going to be the big thing. So the Daily Mail for the 30th or 40th, whatever, it was 88. It was a couple of years ago. They had an anniversary. It would be 30 years anyway. But they interviewed a whole bunch of these band members. They managed to find these guys, most of them guys. And they all kind of were like, yeah, I was an asshole. I was young. I was stupid. It was LA.
Mm-hmm.
We were all just trying to do our best. They all have a sense of humor about it, which
That's
is
good.
nice to hear.
Yeah.
Which is good to hear. But there's one band that they interview the women. There's only a few women interviewed, Vixen, but they never show Vixen on stage. It's just the dudes.
What the fuck?
I know. And I was like, I'm living on the edge of a broken heart.
Vixen was Lita Ford's band, right?
No. Lita was her own thing.
Oh, wait. Was Lita in the Runaways?
She was in the Runaways,
yes,
and then she went solo.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah,
Vixen was something totally different. You're right.
It was something totally different. It was someone who looked just like her. It was a blonde woman. But they were an all-girl heavy metal band. But it's all these other bands. And like I said, there's a whole thing where they have a bar called Gazzari's, and they have a Miss Gazzari's contest where girls dance. It's so sexist and stupid. And this one girl who's giving up her crown and she's in this little, it's 1988. She's got this little light blue dress, like super tight. Her hair's teased up. And she's sitting in a chair. She says, I am so happy to hand my crown to the next person. I'm not jealous at all. And then the director says, so what are you going to do now? She goes, I'm going to keep focusing on my modeling and my actressing. It's just got actressing. It's got just gems like that. That's just like, anyway, if you just want escapism, if you have any fondness for it all, it's hilarious. If you don't, it's probably not that fun. But I can tell you that you can laugh at them and know that they're okay now. Like they're in on the joke. They get it.
That's a really great. That's a great one. I
Thank
have
you.
seen the first one.
Yeah.
The punk one. But I know I've seen it, but I don't actually remember that much about it. But I think I would really like that one. I think that one would click with me. So I'm going to put it on my list.
It's so hilarious. It's so funny to see just the culture at the time. And you think things are sexist now, but holy shit. When you watch this movie, you're like, oh my, but just like, I'm going to be a rock star. I'm going to be famous. Like, really, dude?
You're all sure you are.
Sure, Jam.
So I have a Twitter recommendation.
Ooh.
Which I tagged you already on Twitter, so you already know this one. But it's people dancing to Steely Dan. Shit makes me laugh so hard. I've gone back to this account many times and just scrolled through its feed and laughed. And what this account does is it takes random footage of people dancing. Sometimes from movies or video games or whatever, but most of the time it's just people who posted other videos of them dancing, and they put Steely Dan music on top of it. And I really like Steely Dan.
Me too.
So, I mean, any of these videos could be me every time I hear Steely Dan, because I also dance when I hear Steely Dan. But there's something about it that makes me laugh really hard. It's like all these, like, there's one with like all these goth kids like that start dancing, and they'll put like a Steely Dan song over it, or it's like a man dressed like a pimp and he's like walking kind of funny, and they put Steely Dan on. It's stupid, but it makes me laugh really hard, and I was like, I have to give it a shout out. So it's also on Instagram at Steely Dance. And if you don't know who Steely Dan is, you probably do. You just hear one song and you'll be like, oh, Steely Dan. So it's Steely Dance on Instagram, and it's also on Twitter.
I didn't know it was on Instagram as well. I'm going to definitely follow that.
Yeah, me too. I added it too. It's so funny. I don't know why it makes me laugh really hard.
No, you sent it to me like a week or two ago, and I wound up scrolling through it for like a half an hour, and I was completely cracking up. It's just a nice place on social media just to laugh.
Yes. I think Adam Risky also was like, bless you for sharing this or something. Like everybody started like going through it, and it was just a joy. I love stuff like that. That it reminds me of when Twitter was super fun and not like a fucking dumpster fire. So more of that, please. More people dancing to Steely Dan, please. I'll take it. Where can people find you on the internet, Margo?
You can find me on social media at Brooklyn Fit Chick. That's for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, but I'm mostly active on Twitter and Instagram. So if you're liking me on Facebook, sorry. And then my blog is brooklynfitchick.com, and it's going to be updated hopefully this week. Woo! So please go check it out, brooklynfitchick.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will definitely check it out. You can find me at thesoniashow.com, which apparently I can't share on Facebook because I've been deemed, apparently my site doesn't meet community standards.
What?
Did you see that?
No.
I tried to share a blog post on Facebook. I never go on Facebook, you guys. And I went on and I was like, hey, like here's, how we're doing during this like weird time or whatever. And then Facebook's like, your site doesn't meet our community standards. I was
you know what? They know all that shit you've been saying about them.
Probably. They do know. I love that like politicians can go on there and lie and shit, but apparently I can't write about restaurants I'm ordering takeout from.
My friend Vinny puts up the dumbest memes ever. I hope he never listens to this, but he's kind of a moron, and they never have a problem with him.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, whatever. So, but you could, I don't like to go to Facebook anyway. So you could find me at thesoniashow.com. I am also really pretty active on Twitter at The Sonia Show and on Instagram. And you can find Dorking Out at dorkingout.com and Dorking Out Show on Twitter and Instagram and sometimes Facebook. Sigh. And if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please give us a review. It helps us find our people. And Margo and I, if you love hearing our voices, and obviously you do because you're still listening, we host What a Creep, a whole other podcast where we talk about creeps. And then we end every episode with someone who's not a creep to send you out in the world not feeling super terrible. And this was super fun. I am so glad that we talked about the Birdcage.
I am too, and thank you so much once again for letting me do a little switcheroo at the last minute. But I think we all like really needed a laugh, and I think it's been a while since most people have seen it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think we're gonna stick to. I think the next couple of movies are gonna be pretty light. We're gonna, we'll do some comfort movies. I think we all need it right now. So I'm not 100% sure what we're gonna do next week, so I can't really announce that yet. But it'll be a comedy of some sort, or
sure,
or comfort movies, something along those lines. Anyway, I'm so glad we did this. How about those dolphins?